which has always been the case. Also, Ollie's younger brother. I'd like to thank you, Ollie, on behalf of the bridesmaids for your very kind gifts and words to them, and I'm sure you'll all agree that they're not looking too bad. Thank you, Ollie, for your speech and kind words. So, when Ollie first asked me to be his best man, I was rather taken back, as I'm certainly not accustomed to public speaking. In fact, the largest crowd I've ever addressed is roughly 50 bullocks. So I've spent many hours pondering in the tracked cab, completely ruin Ollie's wedding day. So me and Ollie first met in Bedford Hospital on the maternity ward. Ollie was apparently most put out by my arrival into this world. This is something we all thought would wear off over time. Obviously it did, as I'm his best man today. Now, growing up, me and Ollie have been very close, as there's only the two of us. Some holidays were generally spent helping Dad on the farm, etc., with harvest, and hurtling around the fields in Grandma's old Escort, as I'm sure many of you remember. One driving and the other riding shotgun. Any creature that dared to move was quickly eradicated by either the 12-bore or air rifle, all legal and above board, of course. We were more often than not accompanied by our partner in crime, Ben Baker, who'd like to give us a wave, who, when asked on his opinion of our many harebrained ideas, would do his very best to stop us with the answer of, "I don't mind." So many friends and family have left the farm, never to return again, having been given a ride in the old faithful Escort. I have great sympathy with them, because a 10-year-old driving, who had to look through the steering wheel, flying across a stubble field at 50 miles an hour, was somewhat a terrifying ordeal. Now, another story. One Christmas holiday, we noticed there were a few starlings, or so we thought, in the orchard round the back of the farm. We quickly decided there were far too many, and the numbers needed controlling. So war was declared. We managed to take out roughly 13 of the enemy. Very excited, we went to show our kill to Mum and Dad, who very worryingly informed us these were not starlings. So research was done, and thanks to a YouTube video by David Attenborough, we discovered to our dismay there were fieldfares, quite rare at the time it appeared. So a big hole was dug, and the last of the UK's fieldfare population was buried. So Ollie's gone from breaking the law to enforcing it. Now, there were many other adventures and stories, but I don't have all afternoon. Right. Sorry, I've stopped too early. Now, me and Ollie are similar in many ways. However, as you probably know, we do differ in some areas. The main being Ollie's obsession with being tidy. His room would quite easily fit into a section of Harrods department store. Now, because of this affliction, approximately 20% of his disposable income has been consumed by the faithful lint roller, or it's just like a dog hair sticky roller that cleans up your clothes. So, having just bought a house, I thought I'd better help him out, and I've been around all the local Poundland stores, emptied them of lint rollers, so there you go. Now, as Ollie grew up, he became more sociable. So Mum started taking him over to Oakington Young People's meetings. Once a month, in the trusty old Mitzi, which is still going, and is shortly to be MOT'd, but whether or not it'll pass, is another. He gradually became a regular attender, and soon Oakington Young People's became of paramount importance. Nothing would get in the way of it. Of course, this was to do with Charles giving excellent addresses, but we also learned one of his daughters had his eye on my brother. Now, when Ollie was asked on the subject of his address, or Charles's address rather, we were very confused when Ollie answered, a white top and a blue skirt. Anyway, so one thing led to another, and Ollie and Natalie became an item. This meant that rabbit shooting and farm pursuits took a backseat for quite some time. T-Mobile's network services were tested to the limit, and the landline glowed bright red across the drive. Now at the time, Ollie was working in Marks and Spencer's, as you may remember. He enjoyed the job, and due to his charming character, had attracted quite a fan club of older ladies. All the old dears would give him birthday and Christmas cards, and he frankly did rather well out of it. So when we caught news he was friendly with a Natalie Warboys, we were greatly relieved to find out she was 17 and not 71. Time went on, and the romance continued. I was around the age of 14 and most put out by this whole situation. I did my very best to be a right nuisance, but eventually came round to the idea that me and Natalie are now the best of friends, and I'm very glad you are coming into our family. Now, as I draw to a close, I'd like to take the... Oh, sorry, I'm rushing ahead of myself. Ollie, would you please place your hand on top of Natalie's? Alright. Now, Ollie, savour this moment, as this is the only time you will ever have the upper hand. Drawing to a close and on a more serious note, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you, Ollie, for being such a wonderful brother to me as we've grown up together. Ollie has always been a very good role model and has helped me and given me trustworthy advice in many of life's hurdles, and I'm sure he will continue to do so. I certainly know I wouldn't be who I am without him, so Natalie, make sure you take good care of him. Also like to wish Ollie and Natalie the Lord's blessing in their lives together, and may He who has helped you hitherto help you all your journey through, and daily give you cause to raise you Ebenezer's to His praise. Thank you.